Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Common Ground. My name's Josh. That's Chris. We are your two favorite political commentators here, and Chris is getting his get up on here. You guys see we're celebrating. Fourth of July is right around the corner, by the way. We're going to be celebrating here ourselves, and actually, this episode should be dropping right around Fourth of July. So this will be our Fourth of July episode. Happy birthday, America! We hope that we can make here another 1,000 years of success in this country. So thank you guys for joining us. And Chris, what do we have here today? What are you up to? Uh,
I am about to have a little tiny fit before we get into the real topic at hand here. Um, I'm identifying as an American today. Everyone's allowed to identify as everything. Well, I'm identifying as the rowdy Republican. I hope everybody likes my little outfit. I know it's a little stuff cost me a lot of money, folks. After I paid the man, I was able to afford this stuff. How's it look, Josh?
Looks good, man.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's cut right to the chase here, man. I'm pissed off that I'm tired. I didn't sleep good. I got a headache. Ass hurts because I'm a truck driver. So I got all kinds of problems today that aren't anybody else's problem but mine. Anyway, um, you and I kind of want to have a topic in mind, but we're going to lead into it with the whole identifying and the furries and all these people, the transgender stuff. Cool, gotcha. I'm identifying as a straight American today. All right. So that being said, let's get right into this shit. I'm a little pissed off today, understandably so. I think when we get into this conversation, spend some time. You and I both try to spend some time listening to a lot of different things, and we both actually listen to some of these hearings that go on the House floor, right?
Yeah.
I've had it up to here with the whole listening to the transgenders in the sports, and um, look, I get it. I agree with Riley Gaines. I think she's doing a good thing fighting for her cause. I completely agree with her. Don't think trans people men should be in women's sports. I don't think the furries, we should be talking about the furries. I'm not one. I don't want to be one. But we got all these extraneous things um, going on in our government, which we pay for. And we're not talking about some of the wasteful spending that we could unite on and talk about as just tax-paying citizens. You want to talk about that?
Yep. Yep. And if you guys don't know, like Chris said, they've been having hearings this week in Congress about transsexual rights or transsexuals being allowed in sports and things like that with college and just sports in general, scholastic sports. So they've been spending a lot of time on this. I mean, it's they had the hearings. You guys heard about Riley Gaines. If you go to the Fox News website right now, like three out of their six top stories are about transsexuals or something happening like that. We spend so much time in this country talking about an issue that is so small, and I just want to, depending on who you ask, we have anywhere between 0.5% of the population to 1.6% of the population that identifies as transsexual. So, one of the smallest minority groups in the United States. It's negligible the amount of transsexuals. If you guys have ever met a transsexual in your life, you're one of the rare ones. It just
And if you
doesn't.
have, if
They are
anybody
not
has, they probably
prevalent.
didn't even know it. You probably walked right
You
past one
probably
at some point in your life. You didn't even
yes,
know it. Why? Because that
yes,
particular individual decides to just live their life the way they want and not the media
exactly.
gets their hands on this and it throws us in a different trajectory than we need to be in. I completely support all their rights. Not an argument with me. You got it. It's America. Do what you want. Free country. But how about this? How about we talk about in 2022 the $683 million that the government wasted? Where are them hearings at? I haven't heard one. Have
Yeah.
you?
Nope. Nope. And that's the thing. We're sitting here consumed with these hearings, and they're spending your tax dollars, by the way. They're getting paid to go to these hearings, and they have staff members that research this for them. And there's a lot of money that goes into these productions that they have in Congress, and it does not benefit you. It has nothing to do with you. These like I said, I just brought up the number point 0.5 or 1.5, however you want to say percent. That's total. So that includes adults, children, elderly, all that. So out of that, they held a hearing in Congress about kids, transsexual kids in school. So if the total population percentage of transsexuals is 0.5%, the total amount that are in school, you're looking at like 0.02% of the population. That's what they're holding a hearing about instead of, like Chris said, the 680 something $1 billion in waste.
Per
And
day.
that's just
Per day.
million
$683
dollars in
million
waste.
dollars per day. Winds up being
Yes.
$247 billion, I believe, for the year. 17 different federal agencies, um, all involved with the waste. Look, in the end, the trans stuff that consumes, and I get it, they want to have their voice. You should. I agree with that. But I don't need your voice overtaking the voice of the entire country. Um, there are platforms for you to do this. There are platforms for you to exercise your First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, expression. I'm with you. I got you. But I want to talk about this real quick because we don't, and this affects every single person here. All this trans stuff, and
Yes.
and the Dodgers got themselves in some trouble now, supporting the nuns of perpetual whatever the hell that group is. Uh, as I was reading this article last night that we're going to talk about here real quick, it's not in depth. We can go in depth with it, but it's just a small snippet. We're going to start talking more about this because our goal here is to unite us as a country down here. The government's never going to unite us. They can talk this shit all day long, and it ain't going to happen. They're not going to unite us. They all say it. I have yet to see one do it. That being said, um, the as I was reading this article, the next article down was the furries. The furries. I didn't even know about the furries until a couple years ago. Okay, the furries dress up like animals. They want to shit in litter boxes and do stuff like cool. Gotcha. You guys too. But the article was about these furries and how you're not supposed to discourage kids from doing it. Not supposed to. Well, that's not a political issue. That's a parenting issue in my opinion. Okay, so I want to talk about this instead of the furries and all this other stuff. Um,
Yeah, we're worried about all the wrong things in this country, man,
and that's
and
news.
it makes news, right? It's a good soundbite. It gets people riled up. It gets people very entrenched in opposite sides of the aisle. But does it affect you? Is it important in your life? Will this affect how much in bills you have to pay at the end of this month? Will it affect your paycheck this Friday? Will it affect what time you have to know? Like it these are not real issues. And don't get me wrong, like Chris said, I fully support transsexual rights, fully support being whoever you want to be. This is a free country, greatest country in the world. However, we have some real issues. We have some things that we really should be focused on in this country. Inflation, the amount of government waste, healthcare. We have elderly care. We have a serious situation with the credit crisis and the debt ceiling in this country. Those are big issues. Those are things that will be affecting you.
And they're priority issues.
Why?
They're priority.
Yeah,
Your Furbies
yeah,
and your people who want to dress up like cats and associate. Listen, I associate as a multimillionaire. Guess what? That's all play acting. Because when I leave the house here to go to work in a little bit, guess what? I ain't a multimillionaire. I wouldn't be going to work. So everyone
yeah.
can let
He's not
that
going to
sink
work in a
in.
yacht. So
Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, my mom made me a cape one time. We lived on a little tiny hill. Man, I went ripping down that hill to try to fly with my new cape on because I was playing Superman. I'm going to fly one way or the other. Yeah, I flew right into the ground and rearranged my face over it. So, point of that story is it's all play acting. That's all cool. But all this other stuff with the Furbies and the listen, enough. How about this for a fact? Of the just the money we wasted in this country in 2022. And this ain't a Biden. I'm not picking on Biden because they all spend money. Trump did it, Obama did it, Bush did it. So this is a fact of the money that we take out of our check every week and give to the government. Out of the waste, $683 million per day could have purchased 10 million Toyota Corollas. And there was also housing too, right? Did you read the article?
yes,
So you could also purchased with that waste, 657,000 homes. Boom. That solves the homeless crisis, solves the problem for everybody who needs a car, and you could probably pay off the student loan debt. I wouldn't have as much of a problem with that if you pay my house off. That's working together here, folks. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, the government and they are experts at this. The United States government and it happened. You know, we're not alone. It happens to any government where you have this many moving parts, this many departments, organizations, and things like that. You are going to get waste. There will be wasteful spending. But that we should be concentrating on that. We should figure it out. Hey, where are we losing money on? How can we make this more efficient? How can we run these programs better? Use less of mine and your money. We pay for this at the end of the day, regardless of if you're Republican, you're Democrat. The taxes that come out of my check don't look any different because I'm a Democrat. Same thing for Chris. You know, we're still paying taxes. The government doesn't make money. They get money from us. That's the only way they operate. And there's a
Do I look
lot of
like an
wasteful spending.
ant?
And this isn't new. You kind of do, yeah. With the I forgot what they call them, U.S. public education system, but the little eyes that they have. Um, but yeah, man, it's a problem that's been going on in this country for too long. Both sides of the aisle, like you said, it's not just Republicans, not just Democrats. It's both
Nikki,
sides,
Nikki
and we can
Haley, Nikki
definitely.
Haley kind of nailed it. I ain't a real big supporter of hers, but she said, "Don't let the Democrats and Republicans confuse you about not getting along because they love to spend our freaking money. They can get
Oh yeah,
along about that." And
yeah,
there's a lot to unpack here with debt and waste. We're going to unpack it in the weeks to come, but it's something people really need to think about. It's actually a unifying topic. Um, and there's 17 agencies. This is just 2022, folks. This goes back decades. This ain't specific to last year. We did
oh yeah,
find a site that I like. We haven't really discussed it, called Open the Books. They kind of hold accountability for the government. Or not accountability, but they bring the information to us. Fact is, how many people are actually going out and looking at that information? It's stunning, stunning
yeah,
the amount of waste across the board. Um,
yep,
and we need to start paying attention to stuff, unify down here so we can unify at every level up to the government from local on up. And that's how we fix this country. We have to fix it. They're not coming to help us, folks.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. We that's the one thing that we can agree on. You know, it's that we need to concentrate more on the issues that actually matter, issues that actually affect you at the end of the day as an American, as a tax-paying citizen of this country. You should be concerned about this. You shouldn't be, like I said, I support transsexual rights. We don't need to have committees in Congress and wasting up days and days of our time talking about these issues that at the end of the day will not affect you or I. So we need to concentrate on the big stuff, man, on the important things in this country that we can 100% get behind. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you should be able to get behind that.
And whether you like it or not, we'll be back next week and we're going to talk about more of this shit. So everybody
Yeah.
get ready. That's it. We're done today. I got a headache again. This show's giving me a fucking headache every time now. Getting my nerves all riled up. I'll see everybody next time. I got to be quiet here.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us back for another week here. If, like always, if you guys can comment, let us know what you guys think. Give us any ideas that you may have for any shows coming up, and if you can share with like-minded people. And turn on notifications too. Make sure that you get notified every time that we drop the video here. We often get people saying, "Hey, I didn't know that you dropped a new one." And yeah, so
Come back
get
next week. Next
notified.
week, I'm going to identify as a truck driver. I'm going to dress up
Oh,
like a trucker. You have to come back to see that, though. I'm going to identify as something different every week. That seems to be what we
uh,
do in this country anymore. See you all next time.
have a good night, guys.